girls in middle school, I often struggled to find something to identify with. In 7th grade, I was lucky enough to have a friend introduce me to crew and gave me the connection I wanted. After the first day, I loved it, so I became what my school calls a crew girl. We all thought we were the coolest kids, and we would match in our SRA gear the day before races. Perhaps we did look quite dorky, but the feeling of belonging with these girls was a wonderful feeling. And now that I'm a crew girl in my 2nd year on varsity, I sadly no longer wear our pre-race matching outfits, but I do have the connection of a second home and 40 great teammates to fall back on. While the environment at SRA creates a family vibe, I am one of the rowers who has a very deep family connection. Rowing a seat behind my sister brought a smile to my face and taught me friendly competition about who has the longer wingspan and who has the better TPA, and how you can accomplish these things when your best friend is your support system. Last year, after a great fall season of rowing at the Charles and many other races, we were able to win first place at Nationals, and it was the best memory I have with my sister and my 8 other teammates. And it was with such dedication that our coaches showed us that we were able to do this. Saratoga rowing is also a huge factor in my mom's life as a rower and a leader at the boathouse. It gives us a great bond and is one of the many reasons why she is a role model in my life. With such passion, she shows me how to do things for others and give people such a rewarding feeling to help so many kids' lives. And so, even though someone may need to remind me halfway through my 2K tomorrow, I am so incredibly thankful for SRA shaping me into the person I am today and teaching me how far you can go by pulling together.
Our next speaker is Glenn Mary, who is the CEO of the United States Rowing Association. Glenn has some great insight into the impact that rowing is having around the country.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight, Eric, Chris Chase, Saratoga Rowing Association. This is truly a pleasure to be up here. My wife and I rowed our first collegiate regatta on Fish Creek a little more than 25 years ago. I'm not going to quite tell you what her age is. But it's really important to see the context of where Saratoga fits into a national platform for the sport. I've been with U.S. Rowing for a little over 20 years in some capacity. The past 10 as the CEO. And there's never been a more exciting time for an Olympic sport. In 1994, there were 384 rowing clubs and 33,000 people rowing. This year, we have in excess of 1,300 rowing clubs and a population of close to 250,000 people rowing. This is because of programs like this. It's because of the grassroots. It's because of who's driving juniors into the sport. We're competing with lacrosse, with hockey, with basketball, with football. And quite frankly, we're a better sport, so we're always competing. This growth, this tremendous opportunity, has really propelled a different type of economic relationship, a different type of relationship with the communities in which rowing exists and flourishes. Those communities also flourish. And Saratoga is a great example. We already heard an $8.9 million economic impact in this community from the regattas being run here. That's not atypical. I had the opportunity to read a report by TIP Consulting about the economic growth for the Saratoga County area and what the steps should be in a strategic vision for what we could do around Saratoga County, you could do to better your county, to make it the place, the destination of the future. The irony is, TIP Consulting did a similar report for Central Oklahoma and Oklahoma City years ago. In that report, there are some similarities. Sports. Having context for sport tourism, for sport access in the community. In Oklahoma City's plan, it was goal number 4. They didn't have a river 15 years ago. 12 years ago, when I first visited Oklahoma City, they just put water in. The Corps of Engineers had just given them permission to flood out this dry riverbed that they've been mowing twice a summer. That first meeting, I remember it clearly. I drove into town in a huge Midwest lightning storm, got to meet with the regatta director, Mike Knopf. We started talking about rowing well into the night. We talked about the vision that they had and what they wanted rowing to become. And I said, how can U.S. Rowing help? How can we transform a place that didn't have rowing a few years ago and make it a center for rowing? Fast forward 5 years, $55 million invested in waterfront development around rowing and canoeing kayak. 3 boathouses ranging between $6 and $10 million apiece. One of them, the new High Performance Center for U.S. Rowing lightweight athletes. A finish line tower, the newest technology available. Fast forward another 5 years, another 2 boathouses. A whitewater center for $25 million. I-40's been moved a mile south to make room for a new convention center and a connector with water taxis to get you from Bricktown in central Oklahoma City to the waterfront so that you can experience what's going on. That's the type of vision that they have. That's the type of vision that Tips was talking about. That's the type of vision that Saratoga has. Economic impact. There are a lot of numbers to throw around. By having a 2,000-meter course, by having a regatta structure that you can bring in national level events, collegiate events, full-blown sprint races that are 2,000 meters, you're looking at bringing in events that, just in the past 5 years, Mercer County, which is home to our National Training Center and home to our headquarters, $1.8 million off of 1 2-day regatta. Camden County, our Club Nationals there for 3 days, $1.5 million. The IRAs, one of the, arguably the biggest and best men's collegiate program regattas, another $1.5 million for a 2-day regatta. This is what opens up as you continue to invest in the sport. This is what rowing, flourishing in your community means to the county of Saratoga, to Saratoga Springs, to the town of Saratoga. The opportunities continue to grow and develop and flourish. We're really proud to be here at the invite of Saratoga Rowing. We're really proud to be here to talk about what's going on in a national platform, and I'm really glad to come back home to be part of it.
For all of us who live in Saratoga, Steve Sullivan is well known for the tremendous work he does in this community, as well as the fantastic food and lodging at Old Bright Inn and Longfellows. What I was surprised to learn was how influential Steve has been in the growth of SRA. He was perhaps our first benefactor. Before our boathouse, SRA used to store its equipment in the Longfellows barn during the winter time. Steve, what's up?
Good evening. My wife Yvonne and I, is this working?
Hold it close.
My wife Yvonne and I have been associated with Saratoga Rowing from its beginning in 1996, when Chase took over the back barn at Longfellows for repairing his boats, coaching his crew, his first crew, and scaring the hell out of me in the process. We're incredibly proud of what Chase, Kat, and the SRA family have done for our young men and women, as well as our community. They asked me to talk a little bit tonight about what rowing does for this community, but I have to take a minute to say how important this was for my daughter Shannon. From the minute she started rowing with Jim Tucci, she felt she was accepted as part of the team. The coaches trained her to focus, inspired hit persistence, held her accountable for her actions and behavior, created an opportunity for camaraderie and teamwork, of being involved in a sport where no one person makes the difference, the team makes the difference. These coaches are architects of character. The time that she spent with the SRA family improved her confidence, her self-esteem, as well as her ability to work with and then coach others. A bonus for Yvonne and I, when she went to Assumption College, she was enthusiastically welcomed into another crew family in Worcester, making it much more comfortable for us to return to Saratoga, knowing she was in good hands. Thank you, Saratoga Rowing, for what you did for Shannon and for all of those other young men and women who have gone through your program over the last 19 years. From a community standpoint, you assist in making Saratoga much more than just the summer place to be. We have regattas now. We have more regattas now than we have ever had before, and I believe that if Chase, and CAD have their way, we'll have one every weekend. From April through June, then again from September to the second weekend in November. And if it were possible to row or to race on Saratoga Lake in the wintertime, we'd be the winter place to be as well. Every regatta brings hundreds of fans who come to Saratoga and fall in love with our city. They fill our hotels and restaurants. They shop in our retail stores. Many of them becoming regular guests, some, like many of us, opting to return here to live. SRA has had an indelible impact on Saratoga Springs. Thank you for making such a positive difference in the lives of our children. Thank you for having the enthusiasm, the confidence, and the courage and persistence to follow through on that dream that you had back in October of 1996. And finally, thank you for the opportunity to be part of this capital campaign. I know that our collective contributions will make a difference in the lives of those you serve and coach now and in the future. Good luck with the campaign. Thank you very much.